Hello, everyone. Thanks for logging on to CBSColorado.com. Time now for a few extra minutes with General Manager of your Denver Nuggets, Calvin Booth. And we just ended on the show, Calvin. We were talking about your son playing ball out on the East Coast. So you feel like that's been an advantage for him to go to a prep school and really focus on ball?
I think so. I think, the competition level is pretty good, and they have a lot of high major guys on the team, so I think it's a good experience for him.
Well, I think it's something that we're obviously going to be tracking his career, and we know he'll have a very successful one. I want to switch back over to the Nuggets. We talked in the show tonight about some of the trades you made at the trade deadline. I want to go back to the offseason and just an absolutely incredible acquisition in Kentavious CaldwellPope. Michael Malone recently called him the missing piece. I mean, he feels like he is the perfect fit. When you were scouting him, when you were looking at him, what made you sure that he was going to fit so well with this Nuggets team?
Yeah, I think we talked about him for a long time. We discussed him at the last trade deadline when Tim was here. Unfortunately, weren't able to get something done. And then he had a championship pedigree. He could guard, he could shoot, he had good size. We knew a lot of teams would covet him as a player. And after the fact, several teams have said, yeah, we were also trying to get Kentavious. So very lucky to have him, and he's been as advertised.
He certainly has. And another guy who has been is Bruce Brown as well. Can you kind of take us through the same story, I guess, if you will, of what you were looking at, why you thought he'd be a good fit?
Yeah, Bruce was we thought was actually going to be out of our salary range,
okay.
And so we were very surprised to find out that we might be able to get him with our taxpayer mid-level. So once we found that out, we were hotly in pursuit, and just been surprised overall about his versatility and his offensive game. Obviously, defensively is how he's made his reputation in the league, but I think he's a fantastic offensive player, and to go from basically playing like a wildcat position for Brooklyn last year to going back to his natural guard position has been a very easy, seamless transition for him.
I mean, it's been fun. And two guys that are not only great players, but really great pieces on this Nuggets team, leadership-wise as well. I'm curious, when you're looking at pieces, you can see the talent, but how do you scout out who the player is? Because as we talked about, right, if you're going to go for a championship, everyone's going to be on the same page. So how do you scout the player or the person in these guys?
Well, I think, it helps to know who our coach is, know where our best players are and what they like and appreciate. That makes the process a lot easier. Our coach and best players, they value humble guys that have a little humility about them, guys that have a good feel for the game and are unselfish, and obviously can and will play both sides of the ball.
Calvin, you have done, such an incredible job. We here believe you should be Executive of the Year. I'm just saying if anyone from the NBA is listening. But your first year as GM has really been sensational. What's the toughest part, though, about being a GM?
Just the surprise packages that are dropped on your front door. There's always something that comes up. You think you're all good for the moment, and then something else arises. An injury. Something the league has sprung upon you. They want you to move times, or it's just like the unknown and being ready for whatever is coming around the corner next.
When you talk about the championship window for this Nuggets team, it feels like doesn't feel like it's closing anytime soon. There's a lot of young talent. Of course, Nikola Jokic is in his prime. So Joe Burrow this season, he was asked, what's your championship window? And he said, as long as I'm playing. Is it the same for Nikola Jokic? As long as he's playing, that window is open?
I think if everybody does their job, we have a job to do. We have to set up an infrastructure where we can sustain this for a while. And obviously, if Nikola stays healthy and Jamal stays healthy, and we're able to keep Aaron and Mike and all these guys and develop our own guys, I think we can keep it going for a while. But you have to be intentional. And just can't lean on Nikola to do everything, because that's not fair to him.
That's for certain, certainly true. Last one I got for you, Michael Malone. I believe he's the fourth longest tenured coach in the NBA. Not easy to have longevity as a coach in the league. Why is he the right choice to lead this team, and has he been for, I think, 8 years now?
Well, I think to sum it up, I think he just has the right balance of having some conviction about his beliefs, but also being willing to adapt and evolve, which is actually contradictory and very hard to do. So I think he knows when he has to change with the times whatever the situation is. But his beliefs they still stay consistent.
Well, Calvin, this has been such a treat for us to have you here tonight. We thank you so much for taking the time. Looking forward to a very exciting playoff run. General Manager of your Denver Nuggets, Calvin Booth, so kind to join us tonight. Calvin, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks, guys, for logging on. We'll see you again next time.